What's your story? How did you get into fishing and who taught you?
How have things changed since Amanda got married? How has living apart affected your business?
Hey everyone, and welcome to our latest Q&A About Us life update episode. So we have a lot of new followers here that are asking our story. How did we get into fishing? How did we end up where we are? Now that one of us is married, how's everything working? Because for some reason everyone thinks that the Gale Force twins are going to fall apart when one of us gets married. So we are here to answer all those questions in a new Q&A episode. My name's Amanda.
My name is Emily, and welcome to the channel Gale Force Twins.
Before we get any further into this episode, I do want to announce that we are now on Patreon, where we are going to be offering extended episodes. So these YouTube episodes that you are watching right now, we have extended versions with exclusive clips on Patreon.
Not only that, but we will also have exclusive content such as shooting and hunting, behind the scenes clips, and special discounts to galeforcegear.com.
But the best part is you are going to get 7-day early access to these YouTube videos you are watching. So you get them 7 days early and you get the extended episodes.
For those of you that do subscribe to the Gale Force Twins Patreon page, we want to thank you very much. It not only supports our business and small brand, it also helps us to get out there and keep creating content.
We are going to start with the number one question we get, which is what's your story? How did you get into fishing and who taught you? So we had this question 100 different versions of it when we asked you guys for questions. But not only that, this question is in our DMs, it's in our emails, it's everywhere all the time. So we're gonna take a minute and kind of go over how we went from, we started off as pre-med undergraduate degrees at the University of Miami, track and field pole vaulters, to full-time fishermen and content creators. Definitely two different sides of the spectrum.
I think the best place to start would be growing up in childhood. Now, a lot of people assume, and understandably so, that either dad taught us to fish, grandpa taught us to fish, a family member taught us to fish. However, that is not the case at all. Believe it or not, we didn't have any fishermen in the family, but we did have very, very, very supportive parents and also very adventurous parents. But the fishing, we said, we really want to give this a try.
So what happened was every summer, our family would take a vacation to the Florida Keys. It was probably like a once, twice a year thing. And we would always just go to the sandbar and snorkel. And you know when you're a kid and you're driving down US 1 in the Florida Keys and there are deep sea fishing, offshore fishing, $39 for those headboat trips. You see those signs everywhere. And we saw those signs everywhere. And we're like, Mom, Dad, I want to go fishing. And they were like, okay. So what started as buying some fishing rods at the local shop and sitting on the docks and our dad tying knots, specifically, if you don't know how to tie a knot, tie a lot, because he tied a lot of knots, with a hook and some shrimp, just fishing off the docks. And this happened every year, once or twice a year, we'd kind of just fish off the docks a little bit.
Finally, we said we really want to go offshore fishing.
Specifically, we want to go
deep sea fishing. Because at the time, that's what the sign said. We didn't really understand the difference between offshore, deep sea, inshore, reef, wreck, whatnot,
all the above.
bridge fishing, exactly. So we asked our parents to take us on a deep sea fishing charter for our 13th birthday. But we were very specific because we really wanted to learn. And we said to our mom, I said, I really want to learn how to fish. And her being the super mom, superwoman that she is, when she reached out to multiple charter captains, and she specifically said, I really want someone that's going to teach my kids.
The day finally rolled around. We went on our first fishing trip, and this captain took his time to teach us. We taught knots, we hooked our own fish, we lost our own fish, we did everything ourselves, and that was so important to us. And from then on,
we were pretty much hooked.
We were hooked. And from then on, we basically every single year until college, we booked a charter with this guy, and we wanted to learn. And that is what we did from 13 probably till 18, 19-ish, 20-ish.
So then the next question is, how did you go from getting an undergrad degree in microbiology and immunology and being a pole vaulter at the University of Miami to having a career as essentially a fisherman, captain, and content creator? And the answer is actually quite simple. Now, any of you might imagine that getting a pre-med undergrad degree while being a student athlete was very taxing and very exhausting. So there was one summer, I think it was between sophomore and junior year, that we said we really need to have a fun summer. No internships, no job. I mean, I guess we did take a job, but no
work.
No
It was
hard
work though. No hard work.
No office job.
No office job. No
There we
office
go.
job, no hospital job, no pre-med job, nothing like that.
So we decided to take a job on a sport fishing charter boat out of Key West, Florida. We lived in the Keys for the summer and just absolutely fell in love with it. Now, it was supposed to be just something fun we did over the summer, but it didn't really stop there. So what happened was we did it the next summer. And then our last semester of college, we only had classes, I think, about 3 days a week. So we started fishing Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and then going to class Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday.
Yep, and we did that on purpose with our schedules.
Yes.
Because we looked at our schedules, we said, being student athletes, we had transferred at one point, so it took us 4.5 years. So that last semester
Was pretty light.
I was in 9 credits, and I think you were in 6 credits. So
Yeah.
we intentionally booked class Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So Friday to Monday, we worked on the fishing boats. Once it came time to graduate, I think both of our eyes were so opened to how many more work opportunities there are in the world that wasn't through college, through medical school, through business degrees, through law school. Our eyes were so opened that I think we were both, and I'll speak for you, you can jump in if I'm wrong, we were both realizing, hold on, I don't know if this office job life is for me. And that's when we said, all right, so our one summer turned into, let's take 1 year after college graduation and just work on boats and see where it takes us. Just 1 year.
Sure enough, that's when the snowball effect happened. So we continued to work on the charter boats, we got our captain's licenses, we started to work for more charter boat companies, we started our own charter boat company, we took people out fishing, kids, families, we definitely specialize in taking families and kids out fishing, teaching them how to fish. And then that's when COVID happened and the content started.
Like most people, when COVID happened, their lives changed. And we are thankful to say our lives changed for the better. When COVID happened, everything shut down. No one was traveling, no one was running trips. And we looked at each other and we said, we don't have work. If we're not out running trips and fishing, we're not getting paid. So let's take advantage of this time and do marketing for our business. And all that marketing went into online social media. And that is where, simple to say, the shortest answer is it exploded. That's where we exploded on social media, and that's when we decided to take the leap of faith and become full-time content creators, knowing that our goal was to educate, explain, and entertain. With each piece of content, we wanted to produce high-quality, family-friendly content for everybody out there that wants to learn how to fish, dive, boat, get outside, and the overall goal for us was to just show the outdoor world through our eyes.
Now that's going to kind of wrap up our quote-unquote life story. So our next question is why Patreon? Amanda?
The reason why we've decided to add Patreon as one of our platforms is because we don't actually just fish, boat, and dive. We have a passion for hunting, for shooting, for all things outdoors. But as you may or may not know, things like hunting and shooting tend to get demonetized or even taken down altogether from social media, specifically Facebook, Instagram, sometimes YouTube, and TikTok. We ourselves have been in TikTok jail before because we posted a video filleting a fish and dissecting the stomach of that fish. We had a Russian doll situation. We had a fish with a fish inside the stomach and another fish inside the stomach of that fish. It was so cool. And we posted this to TikTok and got banned from TikTok for it for like 7 days. And then it happened again with a crabbing episode.
Yep, and then it continued to happen on other platforms. We started to have issues with Facebook and Instagram, and sometimes from time to time, even YouTube. So that is why we have our Patreon. Now our Patreon, we're still gonna be posting to YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok.
Every day. This is all still here.
Everything's gonna stay the same way that it is. However, for that additional, exclusive, extended versions, behind the scenes,
raw footage,
a little bit more,
a little more of the details, a little more of what's really going on.
That'll be on Patreon. So if you guys are interested in subscribing, link will be in the description box. Now, another question we have been receiving a lot, and like Amanda said earlier, not just from the Q&A from Instagram, but in her DMs, in her emails, all sorts of places, comments as well, is how have things changed since Amanda got married?
So, I love this question. I recently got married in November of 2023. I married my high school sweetheart. We have known each other, by the time our wedding day rolled around, 11 and a half years or so. We dated when we were 17 through college. And everyone was always like, when they heard I was getting married, because I posted about it, oh my gosh, the Gale Force twins are gonna break up.
It's the beginning of the end.
It's the beginning of the ends we got. Peoples, we're identical twins. Nothing in life will replace the relationship of an identical twin.
That's really sweet.
And nothing in life will replace
true.
the relationship I have with my high school sweetheart. But you can have both. So how have things changed? the big change is I moved. I moved out. For the first time in 28 years, we don't live together.
So Amanda moved about an hour
North.
And how many months have you been married?
6.
6 months into the marriage. I have now also moved, and now we're only 20 minutes apart. The boat's up here where we are. We live 20 minutes apart. Everyone's
Everyone's
great.
happy.
Everyone's happy.
It is the perfect situation. Our business is continuing as normal. The difference is every once in a while we'll have work from home days where maybe we FaceTime a little bit more, but honestly with her being 20 minutes apart, I'll drive to her house or she'll drive to my house, or we'll both drive to the boat and go out and film.
This next question we both love. It's about our Kona bear, our dog named Kona. Quite a few of you also asked this, and basically it was, how did we determine who got to keep the dog? And to be honest, we didn't really feel like there was much of a question on who got to keep the dog. Amanda was the one getting married, moving out, marrying her high school sweetheart. She wasn't gonna also take the dog. So I got to keep the dog. I have Kona, she lives with me. However, Amanda, some of you guys may have seen and been following along and seen that Amanda now also has a dog from the same breeder. So now we both have amazing, beautiful German Shepherds. Her dog's name is Mara, my dog's name is Kona, and everything's great.
It's a happy world. We've got first mate Mara. No, it's first mate Kona.
First mate Kona.
And Mara the Shepherd. So they both have their own Instagram and social media pages if you want to follow along on our puppies' lives. Here's a good question. Biggest likes and dislikes of becoming famous in the fishing world, and do you still like it the same?
I don't know that I'd consider us famous. Famous to me is like movie stars.
Gordon Ramsay.
Gordon Ramsay, that's a good
famous.
one. That's famous. Maybe well known in the fishing space.
Yes.
Maybe decent amount of social media followers.
Yes. I would say, do we like it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's cool. We get to go walk on the docks and we have fans, and a lot of times it's kids and families. They come up to us and they say, oh my gosh, you taught me how to dock my boat. Or, oh my gosh, I love watching your content. I can turn it on and my kids can watch your content. I don't have to worry about
what's going to be on
what's going to be on the screen. Because like I said, it's really important to us that all of our content is family friendly, all age appropriate. So as we've grown, we've started to receive more and more compliments towards what we're creating, and it just motivates us even more. So I would say it's been a really fun journey.
Yes, and do we dislike it more or less now?
Fishing, do we dislike fishing more or less? I think that's the other part of the question.
It's just, I would say it's just kind of evolved. I would say there's certain things that we start to enjoy more when it comes to creating content, and certain things that sometimes feel like,
exactly.
you know.
More recently, this year, we did our first tournament season as a team. We put together a whole team, and that's a new avenue that we've gone down that I am so excited about because it's new. It's something we haven't really done before. I'm loving it. So there are new things. Do I want to go out and catch another yellowtail snapper today? I think I'd rather go fish in a tournament with sailfish, but as we grow and expand, we're learning and doing new things. We get to travel. We get to go to Washington and catch halibut. We get to go catch Boston on a commercial. We get to catch lobster on a commercial boat in Boston.
Yeah, see, we also just went to Guatemala and hosted a women's tournament catching sailfish. So there's so much opportunity in the fishing space that in some ways
it never gets old.
It doesn't really get old. It just changes a little bit. These last few questions are kind of some fun ones, a little bit about us. And the first one is mirror twins. So some of you guys may or may not know, but we are mirror twins, which is a subcategory under identical twins. So yes, we're identical, and a mirror twin is when you look in a mirror and you quite literally mirror each other. So I'm left-handed.
I'm right-handed. My hair naturally parts to the right.
Mine naturally parts to the left.
Down to when we were babies, we would lose the same tooth on the opposite side.
Correct.
And they would come in the same way. So that is the definition of a mirror twin. So next time you meet identical twins, ask them if one's righty and one's lefty.
And if they are,
they're probably mirror twins. This next question is a little bit of a fun one, and it's, how tall are you? Because people often see us. When they see us at boat shows or trade shows or on the docks, they're like, wow, you're a lot shorter than I thought you'd be. So I'm 5'3.5".
And I'm hardly 5'4".
So we're definitely on the shorter side. It's gotten to the point where people are like, I was looking for someone really, I came to the Miami Boat Show to see you guys, to come visit you guys. I was looking for these tall twins. And you're not. Well, no, we're not. And maybe that's just because social media makes us seem a lot larger than we are. But we're definitely on the petite side.
Another twin question is, what is your favorite part about being a twin? So I think we probably might have I don't know, we probably have the same answer. I'll go first, and
I don't
you
even
can
know if I
say
know
yours.
mine. You go first, I'll think.
Oh, for me, it's the very obvious one of just always having a buddy.
I agree.
You always have a built-in best friend, and we did everything together. So we did pole vaulting together, we ran track together, we went to the same college.
We majored in the same degree. We had the same schedule.
We have a business together, and we also just have fun together. So even though we work together, we'll actually enjoy ourselves and say, hey, let's go do something fun.
I think
we're also friends.
Funny part is that people are always like, what's it like being a twin? And I want to ask them, well, what's it like being a singleton? Because I've been a twin my whole life. I don't really know any different. So I would say the best part about being a twin, though, is having someone to do everything with. Whether it's, oh, I have to go get groceries. Will you come with me? Or I got to go to Home Depot later and buy some gardening supplies. You've got somebody to go with you. Or I got to train my dog. Will you bring your dog and we can do training together? Whatever it is. So we do so much together. We have a lot of fun together. Obviously, we started a business together. And we've just grown closer and closer the older we've gotten.
I believe that's gonna wrap up our 2024 Q&A episode. Our last Q&A episode, I think, might have been back in 2022.
It's been a little while.
It was time for a new Q&A episode. We want to thank all of the new viewers and new subscribers for joining. Again, details will be in subscription box for anyone who wants to check out our other social media pages, such as Patreon, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. We hope you guys get out there, have fun, and stay safe.